Okay, let's start. Let's make a start. These, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Well, firstly, is Bovaer dropping out of the news? Good question. It has never been in the news, let's face it. Deliberately so. So when you get comments like this, it will pop up here. Firstly, this was 2 months ago, the first one, to the lovely Terry. Hold on, which one? No, 2 months ago, because he posted 2 days ago. He made a comment, so we're going to go on to that. But Terry Isles 5986. Yeah. I don't know who you are, but you're either a bot or a very sad, lonely person. I think you are the only person pushing this. Most people don't care, as nothing bad gets into milk, but still making these videos gives you something to do. Carry on with your funny campaign. All milk is free of bother, in capital letters, just in case I haven't quite got the gist. Well, Terry, you haven't clearly been watching any of my vlogs, and I'm not forcing you to watch them, by the way, but the Food Safety Agency actually says there are traces of 3-nop in the milk and in edible tissues. I mean, I can't worry about edible tissues because that's meat, in other words, because that's just too beyond my capabilities. But I am worried about the dairy. I don't want Bovaer in the dairy, not Bovaer in the dairy. So, that's why I've spoken about it. And lots of people are interested. Otherwise, they wouldn't be asking me for my printables. Let me know what you think. Should I stop or should I go? I've not exactly been posting much about it in last Easter. It's been a busy time. Yeah, funny. Let's go on to the next comment, because this was 2 months ago. And in fact, funnily enough, you said, you posted this 2 days ago, Terry, and you said, and it was about a vlog that I did 44 days ago, just so we can get the kind of gist of the situation. And then you said, you are almost alone now. This has dropped out of the news. It was never in the news. We've established that. Nobody posting anything about this but you. Could you go on to say, so Denmark checking things? I'm assuming you mean the university 3-year project where they're looking into the health impacts of Bovaer on cows. I think that's what you're thinking. So you're saying, so Denmark checking things is not suspicious as you imply it is. Well, I mean, them looking at the health impacts kind of suggests that there's this concern that it actually does have a health impact. I don't know. Go away and get a life, dear. That's hilarious. No, quite frankly. I don't know who you are, but you're not my content manager. You don't have to click on a video. I don't know if you've known this, but in YouTube, it's thumbnails. And the thumbnail technically kind of hopefully gives you an idea of what the video is about. That's the whole point of a thumbnail. So if you're not really interested, don't click on it, Terry. That's kind of like the gist of it. Anyway, moving on from Terry. Honestly, some people. So I have had a few emails, so let's just pull them up. So just in case, I know quite a few of you have asked me for printables. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, I would have sent them on the, because I attach on the reply. So I will hopefully have caught up and attach the printables of where you can get Bovaer-free dairy from majority of the supermarkets. Someone did ask me, had I done Morrison's yet? And unfortunately, Morrison's is 30 plus miles away, which makes it a 60-mile round trip. I haven't got the stomach for that, really, to be fair. Because you know what it's like at the moment. There just seems to be roadworks everywhere. I was stuck this morning in roadwork. And are there anyone actually doing any work on these roadworks? Oh, my God, no. Right. Let's just find this. There's a few emails I need to cover. So Lindy sent me an email saying the company that produces Bovaer has shareholders of BlackRock, Vanguard Group, Goldman Sachs and the Microsoft founder, who has supposedly a £1 million share. That's your little bit of research on that. Couldn't believe it. So Jackie, you sent me this email about Müller, which you said was a bit concerning. Now I have no idea about this, so I'm just going to read your email. You said you've seen information regarding Müller last night and today. For the past 2 weeks, over 100 farms in the UK have not had their milk collected by Müller. They've been letting it flow down the drain as they have no way of keeping it all. They've had no contact from Müller. They won't answer any of their calls. The farmers heard that there's a machinery problem, but it hasn't come from Müller themselves. So if we see a shortage of Müller dairy products, this might be the reason why. And you did send me a link, and I'll just have a quick look at that.
So tonight I am fucking fuming with Müller. I've had some FDA members sending me videos of them having to pour milk down the drain because for almost 2 weeks they've been telling them that they will not collect the milk. No reason given why, no explanation, and they're not telling them if they're going to be paid for the milk they've produced under contract. And under their contract, they cannot sell this milk to anybody else, or even due to council rules, give it away to the public for free. It's a complete fucking waste. Dear Müller haven't even got the decency to say what the problem is. Apparently there's an equipment breakdown, but that's not come from them directly. That's come down the line from me speaking to farmers and others. So Müller needs to do the decent goddamn thing and ring these over 100 farmers, which is formerly on the U-Tree milking contracts, which Müller bought out, and let them know what's going on, when they will be collected, and confirm if they'll be paid or not. Because when we're under all this pressure financially from this goddamn government and the price constraints due to increasing costs to produce products like milk and the shit price they pay us compared to the profit they make off it by selling to the supermarkets and then on to the public, it's an absolute bloody joke. So Müller, get off your arse and do the decent thing and inform these farmers on what is going on. You have seen what we can do to muster up against this government in the protests of IHT. You do not want to piss off us farmers and get us looking in your direction. So get on with the job and stop dicking around.
You would have just seen a clip of it. I'll also put a link in the description to that link. Jackie, you go on to say, also have been hearing rumours of foot and mouth returning. I've heard that as well. There's a risk we might get it in the UK within the next 3 months, according to this report from Farmers Journal, which is very worrying. Link is, you just say the link hasn't got a paywall, which is quite, I think it's an archived one. Let's have a look at the link. I haven't seen, this is the first time I've seen this. So when was this? So this is very recent, this article, 22nd of April. And where are we now? Our dates were, it's yesterday. Britain upgrades risk of foot and mouth incursion to medium. Further cases, particularly additional member states being infected or a change in the epidemiological situation, such as evidence of disease in wild animals, would cause the risk to increase to high. The risk that foot and mouth disease, or FMD, will enter Britain over the next 3 months has been assessed as medium by the Department of Energy, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA. This means that the virus is expected to enter Britain regularly over the next 3 months. This means that the virus is the risk of entry of FMD was considered highest through commercial, personal, illegal trade in products of an animal origin. Each of these routes had a medium risk, meaning the virus is expected to enter Britain regularly over the next few months. Well, we've already said that. Well, it goes on. It's a long article. I won't go into it because it's incredibly long. So I will leave a link to that if you want to go and check that out. Thank you, Jackie, for that. Really interesting. I'm just going to stick that in my special folder. Oh yeah, Lana Jack said you were just wondering if you knew of any brands of Bovaer-free fresh double cream and also ice cream. Double cream's a really tricky one. Longley Farm, if you can find that anywhere, personally, what I find with Longley Farm is where I am located, my location, because it depends where you live, I think. If you're near wherever they produce it, I think you get a better supply. But I've not ever seen Longley Farm cream, apart from in a very expensive, I hate to say it, but it's an expensive farm shop near where I live. I don't know whether it's because I'm the southeast. Possibly this is the reason why organic or farm shops tend to be really expensive. I can go look into this if you're interested. If you want to see we could do a comparison. If you live somewhere further afield and your farm shops are reasonably priced, could you let me know how much things are so I can then do a comparison and find out, because we're talking 100% or more increase in cost for stuff, for cheeses, for cream, for meat, etc., which makes it very difficult if you're on a tight budget, which is a real shame. I don't know what the answer is because, it's not for me to suggest to farm shops to lower their costs because they're not like supermarkets where they have huge businesses and they can do things like loss leaders and give away their veg for 8p when it's Easter or Christmas, because they do all of that, don't they? I mean, it kind of seems nuts really, but you're not complaining when you're a consumer because obviously you can get your veg for really cheap at the time. It's like a bargain process. I mean, I'm sure lots of you noticed that when you were shopping it just before Easter. It felt very much like an Easter. They're really pushing it like it's Christmas. That same sort of level of spend, which I find kind of like, you can buy all the decorations to deck out your house. Virtually there's going to be an Easter tree, for Christ's sake. Anyway, so Lana, with regards to double cream, what I do is I just have to buy organic double cream. I don't, because you said you normally buy Graham's double cream in Aldi. I don't know where you are, Lana, but my Aldi, I've never seen. You might be in Scotland because Graham's produce tends to be quite well supplied up there. Because you make your own fresh butter. How do you make it, Lana? Do you mind telling me? I'd really like to try. It's my birthday coming up, so I'm dropping hints about equipment, and because I don't have a cake mixer, and I think that's one of the ways you can make butter. I know people have said you stick it in a jar and you shake it every so often, but that seems like I don't know, maybe I should try that. But with a small carton of cream costing over £2, it doesn't seem to me like cost effective, to be fair. I tend to just buy Bovaer-free butter, but I'm lucky I get mine from Home Bargains or from Lidl, the black wrap one, which is Wick Farms produced. And so you also said you also want to buy some Magnum style ice cream. Are you talking about the Magnums as in the sort of Magnums? I don't know what kind of ice cream, because you said you had a mini heat wave in North Lanarkshire. Oh, you are in Scotland. But to your surprise, you couldn't see any dairy codes in the ovals on any. No, in the ice cream, you're not going to find who sourced the dairy from there. But if you see Kelly's ice cream, I know 100% that that's Bovaer-free. It's been verified by a previous subscriber who showed me I have a sort of screenshot of the Bovaer-free confirmation. So you're just wondering how to get through the summer now, needing Bovaer-free ice cream. Well, I could say Kelly's. If anyone else knows of any Bovaer-free, 100% confirmed Bovaer-free ice cream, let me know. I mean, obviously, micro makers like your farmers who do their milk and maybe make cream and maybe make ice cream. I don't know. They might be out there. Check your local farms. Check your local farm shops, because if you can afford to go to shop in those places, 100% do. That's what I would say anyway. And thanks, Lana, for that. It's a good subject because the weather is warming up, and ice cream will be on our minds. I'm just throwing this in because I actually nearly missed it. You probably noticed I'm in a slightly different location. I'm still waiting. I just move. I have a sort of spot where I go to do a bit of editing. It doesn't disturb anyone. And then this is my position for when I'm actually going to be picking up my youngest. Yeah. So I got an email from Cheryl. Thank you so much for this, Cheryl, because you say I have an email here that that their milk is Bovaer-free. Diddley Squat Farm. I think, is it Diddley Farm or Diddley Squat Farm? I think it's Diddley Squat Farm. Anyway, the good news is that obviously that's where Jeremy Clarkson's farm. He's well, not, I doubt it was actually him, but they probably have a little office staff. Hi Cheryl, thank you for reaching out to the Diddley team. Our cow juice milk that we sell from the farm shop is indeed Bovaer-free. Unfortunately, we do not sell a raw milk option. Hope this helps. Best regards, Sarah. I'll that'll be on the thingy. So I mean, that's great, Cheryl, for seeking that out, because in fact that's the first time that they've actually been mentioned. So thank you very much for that. So anyone who's in that region, I can't remember where he is based. I can't remember. I'll stick it here, wherever that is. If you do go there, it's kind of pricey. I once bought Diddley Squat honey, and my God, that was expensive. Yeah, it's Bovaer-free anyway. My favourite milk is Payne's. I do get the reduced variety, but we won't get into that right now because I've got milk boat vlogs and all sorts. So back to the vlog. Yeah, that's it really. Thanks very much, everyone. Yeah, let me know. You might not want to hear about Bovaer anymore. I don't know. Just in case you don't watch them. And if you do, that's fantastic. If you do want the printables, just email me. My email will be in the description under my name, and I'll attach it on the reply. Hopefully I've caught up with the ones that have in the last few days that have emailed me for copies. They're hopefully useful to you, and they won't cost you anything. I just send an attachment. Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, even because Arla, and they've said that some of the Bovaer trials are over, but they're still continuing some till the end of the year. That's their latest comments, and via email. So they've stopped, but they haven't stopped. So they've obviously reduced the amount of farms that are still doing it, which is a good thing. But for me, I would never buy Arla products again, and there's whatever, because it's an umbrella, isn't it? No thanks. And Bovaer's not out of the water. It's not going away. That huge air shut plants happening. It's there. It's probably, I don't know whether it's in production. I've got no idea about that level of where is it at in production point. Let me check the time. It's a school pickup, so I'm just hanging around waiting for the schools to kick out. So yeah, I better crack on and do some editing. And looks like it's going to rain. It's been some lovely weather, which is great. I've got. I tell you what, I've got growing. But let's get to veg. I've got French climbing beans, courgettes. Oh, let me think. Cucumbers, mange tout. There's something. Oh, beef tomatoes. What else? Melon. They're seedlings at the moment. They're not doing too badly. I've had quite a good germination success. So hopefully I'm going to have some crops growing in the garden soon. When they're ready. We've got a while to go yet. And that's the thing about seasonal things, seasonal produce. What's in season right now in the UK? Can't think of very much at the top of my head. If you know, let me know, because we have expectations, don't we, when we go shopping? We want to buy stuff that's out of season, so it has to be shipped from abroad. If we stopped shopping like that, there would be less of a demand for things to be sent from Chile, Spain. Where else? I mean, you just think, during the Second World War, were people eating pears or peaches in January? Were people eating, for God's sake, plums in January, or whatever else? I mean, I can't, nearly every single thing you see in the shops is from abroad, but that's because for our kind of the way our climate is and everything, we can't. These things are not in season yet. So what's the answer? Start shopping seasonally, if possible. There must be some books out there. With that in mind, if any of you have any good recommendations for shopping seasonally, please put them in the comments below, because I might explore this and start trying to adopt it, because it's kind of, I don't want to buy stuff that's flown all the way from Egypt. Where's something? Oh, there, the spring onion. Was it spring onions that had come from Egypt? I mean, yeah. I mean, they won't be ready yet. Actually, I do want to grow some spring onions, so I must add that to my list. And spinach. But this is stuff that I was sow directly outside. Yeah. Anyway, I must stop waffling. I'm going to go now. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you on the next one. Bye.